Today's session covers a topic which is very close to my heart, and if you're here today, no doubt it means a lot to you too. Today, we're going to discuss how you can become quickly and permanently free of anxiety and panic and become able to fully and completely enjoy life here and now in the moment. So you're here today with a purpose. Everyone who is part of the anxious relief community has a unique life purpose, and they are in varying stages of achieving that unique life purpose. Now, what separates the anxious relief community from all the other online support groups and forums is that we acknowledge and are empowered by the gift that is anxiety disorder in order to live full and happy lives. Now, the concept of anxiety disorder as a gift probably sounds extremely foreign to you, and that's okay. That's where you should be. And 10 years ago, I was in exactly the same place that you are right now. And while we're on that note, I just want to acknowledge the time and trust that you've given me today. And in return, I will commit to delivering the most amount of value to you that I can. That is my commitment moving forward today. Now, today's session will show you how to control your energy field and in doing so, really get on top of your anxiety. The reason why I'm here today and why I have such a passion for coaching women to become quickly and permanently free of anxiety, panic, stress and worry is that I suffered with anxiety disorder as far back as I can remember. Yes, I was an over-anxious and oversensitive child, which led me to becoming a very over-anxious and oversensitive teen, to the point where I suffered night terrors and nocturnal panic attacks. But it wasn't until I was 22 years old that I was diagnosed. And to give you an idea, I came home from work and couldn't get rid of the obsessive idea that I was going to kill my boyfriend that night. Yep. If that sounds confronting to you, imagine how that felt for me. It went against every moral fibre in my body and filled me with the worst kind of terror imaginable. It all came to a head when my boyfriend very politely asked me to cut up some carrots, and the idea of touching the knife filled my body with the feeling of such dread. And in my mind's eye I saw red blood spattering against the kitchen cupboards, and all I could hear was myself screaming, "No, no, no." I just completely flipped out. My extremely understanding boyfriend bundled me into his car and took me to the emergency room, which is where I began my path to recovery. I say began my path because it was a long road filled with several setbacks, quantum leaps, and turning points that have brought me where I am today, where I'm permanently free from anxiety and panic, and I'm able to fully and completely enjoy life here and now in the moment. Not long after I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and panic disorder, I discovered the work of Dr. Claire Weekes. Write that name down. We will go into more detail about that later in the presentation. Dr. Weekes, through her books, taught me some extremely simple and effective cognitive techniques to alleviate anxiety symptoms. However, this wasn't enough in isolation, and my anxiety found other weird and wonderful ways to worm its way back into my life. I split from the boyfriend I imagined killing, and I met my now husband, Matt. He's wonderful. Things were going well and warm and fuzzy, to the point that he wanted to fly me across Australia to meet his entire family. On the plane on the way over, I felt a muscle twitch in my arm, and then My entire arm, from the elbow down, went numb. This numbness spread up my arm and into my face. I managed to maintain an appearance of keeping it together on the plane, and I was even able to look together when I met my now in-laws for the first time. But over the course of about 2 weeks that I was away from home, the numbness and tingling spread all over my body, into both arms and down both legs. It didn't affect the way that I moved, but I just felt ultra sensitive to everything. I ended up once again in the doctor's office. At this time, I was being investigated for multiple sclerosis. Now, this sent me into a whole world of health anxiety. And for you Googlers out there, you know what an awful cycle of fear, temporary relief, fear, the whole health anxiety treadmill is. It was actually while I was on the health anxiety treadmill that I met the Archangel Michael and started to see auras. Now that's a story worth telling. Everything came to a head one night as I was laying in bed, trying to sleep but unable to. And then suddenly a really, really, really tall dude appeared by my bed. He was so massive. All I could do was stare at his feet, and I didn't dare look up. He said, gently but firmly, "Sit up." So I sat up. And then he said, "Turn and put your feet flat on the floor." So I did that. I sat on the edge of my bed with my feet flat on the floor. And then he said, "Put yourself into your feet." And in doing so, he taught me how to ground my energy. Then he said, "I want you to listen to me very carefully." And the rest of his message was delivered by a channel of pure love straight into my heart chakra. It felt like a sort of telepathy which bypassed my brain, and this truth was immediately accepted by me on all levels. It's really hard for me to put into words how I accepted it. It was just pure truth poured straight into my heart. When he'd finished this communication, he said to me, "Do you understand?" And I said, "Yes." Then he said, "Now go to sleep." And I did. I went back to sleep, and it was the best night's sleep that I'd had for about 6 to 8 weeks. Now, awakening the next morning, I could see colours around people. It freaked me out for a while until I came to understand that I was seeing delicate and intricate energy fields. Now, I call these auras. It took me some time to fully understand the gift that had been opened within me. To be honest, at first it felt like it was one extra thing that I didn't need to be dealing with. But gradually, bit by bit, I came across like-minded souls on my journey who gave me little insights and clues, and who taught me lessons where I really learnt how to reconcile my not-so-earthly ability with my very earthly life. One of the biggest lessons I learned was to control my ability and to switch it on and off. In the early days, I was walking around like a flashing beacon, just attracting all sorts of experiences and entities into my space. I was getting woken up by the spirits of people who had recently died, who were trying to find their way to the other side but had become lost. Now, this was in addition to the nocturnal panic attacks that I was still experiencing. So you can imagine how very little sleep I was getting. So it did take a while for me to be able to reconcile my ability with a normal daily life. And it also took me some time to see how my ability could actually help myself and other women who experience anxiety. I think the biggest objection I have is the medicalisation of anxiety, which leads women to think of themselves as victims, powerless in a struggle against evil anxiety. I think doctors are too quick to prescribe medication in order to get you out of their offices. In fact, there's so much misinformation out there about anxiety and panic disorders, it just blows my mind. It's crazy to me that in this day and age, there seems to be only two ways that people can go if they have anxiety impacting their lives. They either take meds or they go down the path of natural therapies. In either option, they are left in the wilderness to find their own way, when there is in fact a simple and workable formula, which, when applied correctly, can get you back to being able to fully and completely enjoy life in the moment. My vision and my mission is to dig you out of the stress, anxiety, fear and worry cycle, to free you so that you can live the fullest and most meaningful life you deserve, that is special and unique to you, giving you the clarity and excitement and passion back in your life, building you up and keeping you strong. That is what the Anxious Relief community is about. Now, today's session will provide you with the key 3-step formula that you need to follow to control your energy field, and in doing so, learn how to manage your anxiety. My 10 years plus experience is now available to you today, and especially to those of you who are going to step up into my Epic Energy Release program. So, what we're covering today are tools and strategies that you will apply to every part of your life, over and over. This is Energy Healing for Anxiety 101, and the 3 steps are preparation, action time, and attraction. We will unpack these steps and delve into what they mean for you in the next 60 minutes. I am absolutely passionate about helping women to become quickly and permanently free from anxiety, panic, stress, and worry, and watching them grow into being able to fully and completely enjoy life here and now in the moment. Now, this process starts by empowering you with knowledge. I have done a lot of research and digging around and uncovering the reasons why anxiety affects the modern woman in the way that it does. You see, anxiety is nothing new. Panic attacks, stress, worry, it's nothing new. It's been documented for thousands of years. 50 years ago, they called it nerves. 200 years ago, it was a weak disposition. Panic attacks were called hysteria, and the medical profession at the time, in their wisdom, decided that the best thing to do was to remove a woman's uterus by performing a hysterectomy if she displayed symptoms of panic attacks. In the Middle Ages, women were widely believed to be possessed or under some kind of psychic attack if they displayed symptoms of anxiety. Hippocrates in ancient Greece coined the terms mania, melancholia, and paranoia, all symptoms of anxiety disorder. The ancient Romans took a slightly different tack, which was mainly ignore it and it will go away. Although they were onto one thing, that physical symptoms can be the result of emotional distress, and once a person can accept this, they can change it. We will go further into this later in the training. Coming back to today's day and age, we are literally saturated with different ideologies, tips, and techniques that can be used to treat anxiety issues, but they're not guaranteed to work for everyone, at least not in the long term. So, on top of the bewilderment of having an anxiety attack, there are so many options, paths to take, and ways to go on how you treat it. Add to the confusion the economy. Now, we live in a time and age when standards of living have never been better. However, we live in a time when our reliance on Western medicine and synthetic pharmaceuticals is at an all-time high. Now, please don't get me wrong. There is definitely the right time and place for medicines. Therapeutic drugs can save lives. Many people need to take anxiety medication in order to function, and I completely respect that. But, to be perfectly honest, anxiety medication is often overprescribed and given out by doctors who don't see any other avenue of hope. And that's really sad. I'm sure you'll agree. Anxiety medication is not a long-term solution. It can be a short-term stopgap to get your brain chemicals into a happy place, but their effectiveness reduces the longer you're on them, and you don't want to be reliant on stronger and stronger drugs. Now, all anxiety disorders, panic disorders, stress and worry patterns are responses that we learned when we were children. This is a fear response that we're talking about, and our fear patterns are developed in childhood. It seems that every generation seems to blame the one before it, but the upbringing you had can really impact on the way you deal with fearful situations in the here and now. Which of the following sounds familiar to you? You're too sensitive. Scaredy cat. You worry too much. Pull yourself together. Stop worrying about it and it will go away. Snap out of it. And that old chestnut, think positive. These are all things we heard when we were younger. And these words have become such an ingrained pattern in our thinking and part of our comfort zone that our nearest and dearest say these things to us in the here and now. But it's not our loved ones' fault. Everyone is just doing the best they can with what they learned as a child and the lack of true knowledge that they have. It's a cumulative process. The worst thing is when these common misconceptions take over your life and thinking. Do any of these sound familiar? I'm going to go crazy. I'm sick of being disappointed. Will this push me over the edge? Something terrible will happen and I will be at fault. I'm going to let my loved ones down. The truth is, everyone has these thoughts. The human brain is one heck of a powerful computer processor. It processes zillions of thoughts every minute. Now, when you're fatigued and your underlying thought programming is skewed towards anxiety, this is when you are at risk of the negative, anxious, and worrying thoughts being picked up by your subconscious mind, and conversely, your body will also throw some weird and wacky symptoms to reinforce that belief that there is something really wrong with you. Unchecked, this situation really has the potential to spiral out of control and lead into an anxiety or panic attack. We will cover this off in more detail in the presentation as well. Later in this training, I'll show you what you need to do to turn this situation around. And we'll cover that off in a few moments. Now, just so we're all clear about what this webinar is not about, it's not about psychiatry, psychology, or any of the psychs. I'm not a doctor. I do not treat any medical conditions or illnesses. I do not call you a patient. If you're on meds, this training will not tell you how to come off them. As I said, I'm not a doctor, and you should only attempt to come off your medication under the guidance of someone who is medically trained. The doctor who prescribed your medication for you is the person to approach about coming off the meds. This is also not about alternative therapies in isolation. So, not hypnosis, not past life regression, not acupuncture or breathing techniques or tapping or anything like that. This also won't help women who are stuck in the victim mentality. This is not meant to be an insult. If you truly feel like there's no possible way for you to get off the panic and anxiety treadmill, then you're really only here to prove today to yourself that there is no hope for you. So please do us both a favour and leave now. If that's the way that you're feeling, then the next 2 hours will not serve you. So what is today about? It's about helping you go from feeling anxious and scattered to calm and in control of your energy field in the quickest and most direct way possible. I'm an energy healer, and I teach energy self-healing techniques to help women with anxiety. I don't work with illnesses, like I said, I work with people. I don't treat you as a patient, I treat you as a client. I treat you as the intelligent woman that you are, and I work in partnership with you. I respect and admire and value each and every one of my clients. So I'll answer some frequently asked questions now, but I do ask that any further questions that you have are saved until the end, because the training will most likely answer any questions that you do have. So question 1, I feel not ready and scared. But deep down, I'm sick of feeling this way. Should I be here? The answer to that question, beyond any shadow of doubt, is yes. If you feel that way, my love, and you're ready to take action to get rid of the anxiety and panic out of your life once and for all, then here is exactly where you need to be right now. Question 2. I'm worried that this will push me over the edge, and I can't bear any more disappointment. Well, I just want to say that every single person feels the same at the beginning. I felt like that when I started on my anxiety healing journey, and all of my clients echo the same sentiments. Just stick with me and it will be all okay. Question 3. I don't think anyone else on the planet has experienced anxiety as bad as mine. How can you help me? I've been accused of trivializing people's anxiety before, but that's just because I know it's not the big bad monster it appears to be in reality. To be honest, I know the feeling that you're going to die. I know the feeling that you're wading through mud, and I know the feeling that everything is just too hard and there's no escape. join the club. These strategies will work for you. You're in the right place. Now, ladies, I'll just ask you to please consider the strategies I'm going to present to you today are quite complex and might seem a little daunting up front. But that's only because it's a new idea and you haven't been shown how to do it yet. This process is challenging, and that's because you're learning new information. But what's typically challenging leads to extraordinary results. This is a universal law. And more importantly, the results this training can have on your life are worthy of more than just a 1-hour webinar. In fact, my Epic Energy Release program ladies and I spend 9 whole weeks implementing these strategies, plus many more, to help them go from feeling anxious and scattered to calm and in control of their energy fields. And they blossom into empowered goddesses who live full and complete lives in the moment without a second thought. Now, I want you to move forward with me, and I would like you to consider this. People who are experiencing anxiety, panic, worry, or stress will find that this is all rooted in fear. And what's holding you back significantly in your life is a belief in fear and scarcity, and a belief that there's not enough good stuff in this life to go around. This belief is an unconscious belief, which is going to stop you from making strong, empowered, and informed decisions. Now, I want you to move forward with me, and I would like you to consider and I want to ask you a question. If you've been feeling held back, ashamed, and taken hostage by anxiety for far too long, ask yourself, might it be time to try a new approach? Anxiety is painful. You don't need me to tell you this. What you need is anxiety is painful. You don't need me to tell you this. You live with it every day of your life. It's not only a mental pain, it is also a physical and spiritual pain that tends to well up at the most inconvenient moment and incapacitates you. Life beyond anxiety is 100% worth the effort and faith that it takes to overcome. To be able to sit still and live in the moment, safe in the knowledge that the universal energy is 100% on your side, it just feels right. There's a certain magic that comes with the realization that you don't need to try and control everything. Life will flow on, and it will naturally flow in your favor. So my mission for today's training is this. If I can take you out of the mindset of pain, out of the belief that you're trapped by this big bad monster called anxiety, and even if just for a minute you get to see that there are some very quick, simple, and extremely powerful ways to gain control of your energy field and bring you back to a level of not only calmness but excitement about life, then my job today will be done. You'll start to notice that the solutions and the answers are there in front of you. They've always been around you. They've been around you forever. but you just haven't been able to notice them, because what you focus on in life is what you get. If you focus on scarcity, you get scarcity. If you focus on fear, you get fear. If you focus on anxiety or panic attacks, and this is mostly at a subconscious level, you get more anxiety and panic attacks. But when you focus on abundance and possibilities, solutions and answers will show up for you. The reason why I'm saying this is, I want you to get the most out of today's training session and the most out of the time we have together today. I want to ensure that you get the highest amount of value from me today, because there's a lot that I'm going to teach you, and if you're in a place of scarcity, you will miss some very important points and you're not going to serve yourself. So just for today, and in the time that we're spending together, I want you to take on a new belief that there is an abundance of everything in the world that you will ever need to get the results that you want in your life. That this is going to help you notice more of the solutions and answers that you've been looking for. That they're there, right in front of you. And today they will become crystal clear if you are prepared to approach this from a place of abundance. Okay, you're exactly where you need to be. With an open and abundant mind, let's move ahead. What I'm about to share with you is big. The list of anxiety symptoms is endless. You don't need me to go into detail on this. You're here because you experience anxiety or panic or worry or stress, and the last thing you need is someone explaining every single symptom in detail and what it feels like. You know what it feels like. Now, my approach is completely unique and one of a kind. Just like the anxiety you're experiencing, there's no one else on this planet who will experience anxiety disorder just like you do. You are a unique individual, and that means the way that anxiety, worry and panic manifests in your life will follow a pattern that is unique to you. This is why a one-size-fits-all approach will not work for you. Now, unlike psychiatry or psychology or even counselling, I don't want to go into the deep, dark past to dig up your skeletons. I believe that doing so creates more unnecessary trauma. We focus on the here and now. What I teach is about looking to the future as a place full of promise, rather than what we can't change in the past. That being said, there are some things that you need to know about cause and effect and how it relates to anxiety, panic, stress and worry. And it's essential in empowering you with the knowledge of the hidden gift that anxiety is in your life, and how to interpret that gift to get amazing results in your life. So, I'm about to go into the steps that you need to follow. So please, if you haven't already done so, get your pens and paper ready. There are 3 overall steps that you need to travel in order to get to your ultimate desired outcome of becoming calm and in control of your energy field. The first step is preparation. The second step I like to call action time. And the third step is attraction. The first step, preparation, is about getting to know your energy field. The second step, action time, is learning energy healing techniques to release your fear and anxiety. And then the third and final step, attraction, is where you learn how to apply these techniques into the big picture of your overall life, including how to attract good things into your life. Now, let's focus on the first part of the first step, preparation. It's important to take this step by step. The first portion of the first step is really getting in control of your energy, feeling it and working with it. You really need to know your own energy field before you can really start to impact it and make changes with it for the better. Now, bearing in mind we're on limited time, I will go through this as efficiently as possible. This exercise is called energetic protection. Its purpose is to keep the good energy in your aura while locking the bad energy out. This technique also prevents any energetic leaks that tend to happen to the auras of anxious women. This is the first step because it immediately stems the energetic flow of anxiety and locks the positive energy closely to you to power you up for the next step, which is grounding. Okay, I'm going to run you through this energetic protection exercise. Become still. Sit, if you can, with your feet flat on the floor. If you must stand, make sure your knees are slightly bent and your weight is evenly distributed on your feet. Keep your feet about shoulder width apart. See yourself surrounded in pure white light. Feel the warmth surrounding you as the light covers you from head to foot. The white light extends out to cocoon your body in an egg shape. Imagine that the white light is sealed off by a shield made of super thick bulletproof glass. This shield cocoons the white light surrounding your body. Scan the all over body shield and make sure that it's completely sealed up. Surrounding the bulletproof glass is a two-way mirror. This mirror allows you to see out and project energy, but causes all negative energy to bounce off you. Around that mirror is a force field of shimmering gold energy that filters out all negativity before it can get to you. And when you're ready, I'd like you to open your eyes, move around a little bit, come back to the here and now, and join me again. At first, this exercise might take some time as you build up the armor around your body. But as you practice, it will become quicker and easier for you to just snap that protection in place. Soon, you'll be able to instantly surround yourself with this protective energy. You might find that you add an extra layer of color here or there, and that's fine. You need to tailor this protection exercise so that it works best for you. The next part of step 1 is learning what your energy field feels like. Once you've locked your positive energy into place and have prevented negative energy from getting in, you can begin to know your energy field and how to work with it. It gives you a whole new perspective that the world operates at a level that is actually very intricate. In learning how to feel your energy, you come to understand yourself on a whole new level. It's quite a complex process if you're trying to do it on your own, but you begin by holding your palms closely together and feeling the gentle push and tug of what happens when your aura is stimulated in different areas. The final part of the first step is grounding. The number one biggest problem with anxious women is that their energy is all up in their head. That's what makes you feel scattered and out of control. That's what makes your mind run at 1,000,000 miles an hour with obsessive thoughts when you're trying to sleep. Now, grounding comes after protection because you need to seal yourself in positive energy before you can anchor yourself. And you need to ground yourself before you get into the real energy work in the next step. I'm running a little short on time here, so I'll go over it quickly. There is a whole process that you need to follow in order to do it properly, but as a shortcut, just picture tree roots coming out of the soles of your feet and connecting with the core of the earth. Step 2, I call action time. This is where all the energy healing action happens. In this step, you really learn how to locate and remove the negativity from your energy field, liberating it to become ready to accept the good things that will ultimately follow. Once you've completed this step, you will have taken the fear out of the fear, and you'll know exactly where in your aura that your anxiety is building up and being stored. And of course, once you know that, you can remove it forever. So, what do you need to do at this point? This is where it does get quite complex, and you need to follow a really specific formula to ensure that you do this step completely. Write this down. So this formula basically means that you start by releasing the obvious fears and anxiety. Then you go in at an energetic level, pulling out the big negativity before moving in again and getting to the finer and more lingering negativity. Once the bad stuff is removed, you must fill it with positive energy as quickly as you can. Otherwise, your aura will go back to the only thing it knows, which, of course, is anxiety. And then the process within the bracket is compounded and completely reinforced when you then zero in on your fears and release them completely. There's the first fear release exercise that you do, but then you'll find as you work on your energy field that extra fears that you weren't even aware of will crop up. At the end of the process within the brackets, then you're ready to release those deeper fears once and for all in the quickest, gentlest, most effective and less scary way that you possibly can. This is the epic energy release that I talk about. The third step is attraction. The purpose of the attraction step is to pull those good things into the gaps that have been left in your energy field as a result of removing the negativity. From an energetic perspective, one of the biggest causes of anxiety relapse is from holes that have been left open in your energy field. If they aren't filled quickly and positively, your energy will go back to the only thing it knows, which, as we said, is anxiety. Just like a whole bunch of negative stuff will come up when you work through the process of the action time step, there will also be areas that you will discover positivity, and then you need to know how to amp that up, also very gently. You need to make the space by removing the negative stuff out of your energy field. You need to make that room. If you go right in now and try to attract good stuff to you straight away without removing the negativity first, it won't work. That's the reason why the law of attraction doesn't seem to work for anxious women. There's not enough room for it. You need to make room by uprooting and pulling out the fears before taking this life-changing and powerful step. That's really it. When you've followed the formula that I showed you in action time, you also subtly open up channels in your energy field that you can use to draw good things to you. It's a good idea to get really, really clear on what you want, because once you begin this process, things really start to manifest quite quickly. I've got a funny story on why you need to approach this carefully. I know a woman who always told me that she needed a break. A break from being a mother, a break from being a wife, a break from her job, etc., etc. We all feel that way sometimes. Anyway, she manifested a trip to Queensland. Now, this is the Sunshine State in Australia. It's like our Florida. It was a week away with her girlfriends. On the second day she was there, she was feeling all daring, so she decided to go for a skydiving adventure. She broke both her legs and ended up in plaster for months. So the universe really took her requests for a break very seriously. You have to be so careful you manifest. This process is extremely powerful. Now, I've just given you a good hour's worth of great, valuable, usable content that you can use right away to get control of your energy field and to overcome your anxiety issues. I would like to invite you to join me in stepping up to the plate and really making it happen for you. I am the only energy healer and teacher of these techniques who empowers women with anxiety through knowledge. The only one. And you could go out and try to apply these techniques on your own, but you won't have much success. Why? It's because they need to be applied in a correct order and at the right time to have the best results in the shortest period. I've tested this. My method is proven. Believe me, you'll get results 110% faster by joining me in the Epic Energy Release program. One of the biggest benefits of working with this method is the support you'll get, not only from me, but from the other women within the program. You will become part of a step-by-step guided program that takes you from feeling anxious and out of control to getting to know about your energy field, to releasing fear in the most effective and gentle way, to using what you know about your energy field to attract good things into your life. A recent participant in this program, Jess, emailed me the other day and said, I felt like I'd come a long way in my anxiety, but I was still having panic attacks at night that I just couldn't shake. So I thought I would try something totally new. This was a brand spanking new adventure for me. I was really surprised when all the feelings you described actually started happening. Since doing Epic Energy Release, I've had no more panic attacks, and I'm more confident to go out and get the stuff that I want, and I've stopped doubting myself. That's pretty powerful, I'm sure you'll agree. And just this morning, I got an email from another course participant, Frances. And she says, Thank you for helping me to swim out of that whirlpool of anxiety that threatened to pull me under. When you're in that whirlpool, it feels like treading water is all you can do, but your exercises helped me to calm the waters and swim out. You helped me see the energy that I waste with anxiety in a whole new way, and you gave me a new way to deal with it. Winding down enough to sleep was the first benefit. Then I moved onwards and upwards from there. So, if you join me, this is what you get. Immediately on enrollment, you will get access to the first exercise. This begins right away. We start as soon as you order. Then, every week for 9 weeks, I'll send you the latest quick and easy exercise in both a video and written format. The longest video is 5 minutes, so I mean it when I say it's a quick and powerful process. So you will learn the exercise quickly and easily, then you'll learn how to apply it in areas of your life. Using these simple and effective tools will make previously uncomfortable situations a lot more comfortable, and nobody even needs to know that you're doing it. You can also do the course at your own pace, because once you get the exercises, they're yours to keep forever. You'll also get lifetime access to the Epic Energy Release private Facebook group, which is made up of women who are either currently doing the course or who are alumni and are therefore extremely knowledgeable about the process. The group is closed, which means it is completely private. So it provides a discreet, warm, nurturing environment where you'll meet the other women that are on the same journey as you and learning the same stuff as you. You will learn so much from these ladies, not only through their questions, but also through the advice and guidance that they provide you too. You'll make some really good friends from this group. Okay, so specifically, week by week, this is the course content. Week 1, learning how to feel your aura. This is the living proof that the energy field exists and that it can be manipulated. You will have a new understanding of how the world works at a more intricate level. Week 2 is the grounding exercise. It is extremely important to ground yourself before any type of energy work. Doing this keeps your energy out of your head and down in your lower chakras. You'll experience greater clarity, less confusion, better ability to think, and a better ability to think from start to finish in a thought. You'll experience less overwhelm, less procrastination, and you'll also sleep better. Week 3 is the first initial fear releasing exercise. We're baby stepping this. It teaches you how to acknowledge fear in a very gentle and non-confrontational way. By taking the fear out of the fear, you actually melt it away so it no longer exists and no longer stands in the way of getting what you really want. Week 4 is where I teach you how to actually rake negativity out of your energy field. You use this exercise whenever you feel weighed down or if your anxiety picks up after a stressful situation. You really learn how to locate where exactly the anxiety is sitting in your energy field and what to do to remove it so that stressful situations don't weigh you down as much anymore. Week 5 is where I teach you a technique to filter out old and stagnant energy from your body. This exercise is for the older, more lingering stuff that has been weighing you down for a while now. I'll teach you how to locate it and remove it. You will find areas in your energy field that you weren't even aware was storing this stuff. And the feeling of liberation and release is so light and freeing. Plus, know what to do if you ever feel that way again. Week 6 is all about preventing negativity in your aura. So once you've removed the negative energy, you need to fill up the holes with positive energy quickly. This exercise will prevent you from slipping back into negative patterns, as this is all your energy has known in the past. Repeating this exercise means that you are retraining your energy to follow a positive pattern instead of a negative one. Week 7 is Juicy Beans, the epic energy release that the previous exercises have been preparing you for. This is where I teach you the intense fear release and truth-getting exercise that will rid you of those more stubborn fears, leading you to a place where you'll trust yourself and your own inner voice over anyone else. I can't even put into words how immediately powerful and effective this exercise is. It gives you a very strong and robust framework for ridding the most stubborn fears so they won't hold you back anymore. Week 8, I'll show you how to activate your chakras in this shortcut exercise to light up an energy center when you need an extra energy kick for that area. For example, when you need some love energy or money energy, you just turn up the vibration of this center in order to open that channel up in order to receive. It's a really good shortcut to know. Week 9 is by far my favorite. This is all about attracting good things into your energy, and it's a reward for all the work that you've put into the program. So what I teach is a really powerful exercise using the skills that you've already learned to take it one step further and begin to manifest good in your life. It's good to know that these skills can be applied to areas beyond anxiety, because there will be a time that you are completely healed from anxiety and you'll want to take the extra step. This is the first step for the rest of your life. So, weeks 1 to 9 are all delivered via email in both a video and written format, starting as soon as you decide to join the program. We begin right away. Ask, how much is a life without anxiety worth to you? How much do you want to no longer feel anxious and out of control, and instead be able to attract good things into your life using the skills learned in the Epic Energy Release program? To become a better wife, a better mother, to handle stress better and master that energy for good. Let's talk about investment. My business mentor, Amber McLean, went nuts when I told her how much I planned to charge for this round, and insisted that I sell this program for $50,000. Her reason? She said, the more they pay, the bigger, faster and longer lasting the transformation. Lifetime transformations don't occur at $500. They will at $50,000. I know you're worth it. The fact is, I know I'm worth it because of the results that my programs deliver for my clients. However, I'm not going to charge you $1,000 to join this program today, The reason for that is I'm having my baby soon, and I just wanted to offer this program for one last round before I go on maternity leave. So today I'm offering you a place in this program for a single one-time payment of $5.94. Or if you prefer installments, there is an installment option of 2 payments, 4 weeks apart, of $3.57 each. However, let me just highlight with you that this is the last time I will be offering this program at this price. I'm in enough trouble with my business mentor as it is right now. Think about how much time and energy you're wasting on anxiety in your life right now. How many hours a week does anxiety drain from your life? And what fun things are you missing out on because anxiety holds you back? Now, I have a way to show you quickly and with the minimal amount of effort how to turn that energy around so that it becomes a positive force in your life. You'll become calmer and more present, a better person for those you love. In a wider context, learning and spreading this energy helps the world become a better place. What helps you helps the universe. Your calmness and your in-controlness will spread and multiply. Enrollment is now open for 24 hours. There should be a button that's popped up on your screen to take you to the order page. If not, I'll direct you there after I've answered questions at the end. If you do have questions, please enter them into the box to the right of your screen. Bonuses! For enrolling in the next 24 hours, you will get access to my exclusive VIP bonus library. This zone is crammed with supportive information such as videos, ebooks and worksheets about anxiety, and I update it constantly. Access to this zone is worth $1,000 in its own right, and you will get it for free when you enroll in the Epic Energy Release program within the next 24 hours. At this point, I just want to acknowledge how you might be feeling right now. The past hour and a bit has your mind and energy field to a real opportunity, and you're feeling both fearful and excited. I want to assure you that this is completely natural, and in fact, it's a great sign. It means that you are in exactly the right place. This is evidence that you have found a solution that will lead you to extraordinary results. So, if you haven't already done so, please click the Show Me More button on your screen. If that's not working, I'll send you there after answering questions.